Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. My name is Alex, and today we're gonna make our first ever YouTube tutorial. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna break down my track Tongue, which I released the last year. It is a melodic Riddim dubstep, but I blended a lot of Chinese instrument to it, so I guess it's gonna be pretty funny. Yes, so let's get into this. So actually, this project I have already made a project breakdown last year, but I released that on Bilibili, which is a Chinese platform because I'm Chinese. And the whole video I'm speaking Chinese, obviously I can't just use that video to YouTube, or I'm gonna make a subtitle, but I'm lazy as fuck. So I decided to made another one. So let's listen to the drop first. This is pretty nice. By the way, this project is free on my Patreon, and I will put the link in the description. So if you are interested in this, if you have Ableton Live 11 standard or higher, you can just go download that shit and mess around with that. Alright, so by the way, this is the production project of this track, and I'm not gonna go through mastering today. If you guys want to see the master project, I'm gonna do that, but this project it haven't been mastered yet, so it's gonna maybe sound a little bit different with the final project, the final result. So yes. By the way, let's boost the volume a little bit so you can hear that more clear or whatever. Fuck English. So let's just directly go through from the drop, and here we have the drums. Alright, it is just simple kick and clap. I'm layering two clap together. This one with another virtual right clap. All those drums are raw. There's absolutely no post-processing, right? Because this project is quite old. Like I put the only thing here is this plugin called Punks, which is a transient shaper, and here to add a little bit transient and soft clip this one a little bit. And here we have the right. Here I'm using a stereo rack. This is quite fun. All right, this rack is made by a Chinese music producer. I don't know if he posted the video to YouTube, but this rack is pretty funny. This rack is basically generating size signal based on mono signal, and which is probably the best stereo expander I've ever fucking used. Alright, it is pretty simple stuff, and sidechain this one and no more. Pretty simple. And there's a reverse stuff. Alright, I'm gonna be quick, so I don't want to make this one super long. So there's absolutely nothing here, obviously, and let's directly go to the bass. And here we got the main lead. This is pretty fucking fun, alright? So first, I'm writing melody in, how to say that, polyphonic or whatever, which is a skill that have really this sort of Chinese feel. Basically, how you can do this, if you like, I guess Ableton have a scale mode, and you can directly just find the polyphony. Let me see if you have this one here. Alright, I don't have this one here, but I will teach you how to do this manually. So take for example, if we have like a C major. This is a C major, alright? And you have only the 1, 2, 3, and you delete the fourth note. 4, and then you have 5 and 6, and you delete the other, and then you got the polyphonic major or whatever. Oh my god, my CPU is screaming. This way you can just like play random notes and have this really Chinese feel. And first, I'm layering a 古筝. All right, is this a 古筝? All right, this is 古筝, which is a Chinese instrument. I'm running through OTT and more. I pan it to the left, right a little bit, by the way, and then I layered it with this is a pipa, which is another Chinese instrument, and I also OTT this a little bit, and this one's being panned to the left to create stereo. Stereo is by panning, not expanding. My opinion for this track. Yeah, and here, this is 中歌碗管, 中管, which is probably also a Chinese instrument, but I don't know what the fuck this is. Sorry for that. I just think it sounds cool, so I use that shit. Also OTT and gate a little bit. There's been noise. And holy shit, there's quite a lot of post-processing. I also run it through a Farag. It just make it more, you know, post-processed. Then I post-processed layer with plug. This plug is pretty funny, and this is just a saw wave, I guess, and run it through. If you open up Poly and then you put a random to its pan, and it will make every single note you play in a random panning in a random position. So this way you can get a stereo sound, but it is not by expanding, it is by panning randomly to left and right. This method is going to be super useful, especially when you playing chord, because you're going to pan every single note in random position, and altogether it will sound wild as fuck. And the source here, I guess, is also those filters I'm using to create this really plug-in sound, and put the drive all the way up, and this disperser, of course, and there's an OTT. I love disperser. And OTT, Farag, and all this, that, and next layer, it's just a triangle, square, FM from a sine and runs through a comp filter, and just those process like, you know, whatever, like those OTT or whatever, and supposed to remove some harsh frequency and a marimba. This is another phase plant stuff, which is just a AM sine, alright, being FM by a saw. Or it's more like phase distortion, but it is the FM in serum. And add a noise and resonator, some more post-processing. Processing. Oh my god, weird pronunciation. More disperser, supposed to just some more post-processing. Alright, the mix down is quite hard for me because those Chinese instruments is quite hard to make them glue them together if you want, especially because all of the Chinese instruments, they just have this really harsh frequency, the strong frequency. It's quite hard to balance this tremble with this mid. This is just a transient layer. So all the layer together sounds like this. There's some bass group processing as well. So first you got an OTT, and you got a 5 filter process A2 to compress a little bit, another Sus 2, and here I use the G clip to clip some of this really harsh, really like high peak compressor, EQ, and another Sus 2 to end it. And this is something that is being that's being open in the second part. So here chord. Oh, so yes, this is pretty fun. So at first I was making this track for there's a producer called Moonboy. He hosted a production contest, and I made this track for everybody want to join this contest gonna have to use his beta pack to create a song out of this. So at first I made this song for attending that contest, but I ended up with didn't do that. I forget why, but I just didn't. All right. So there's actually chord progression here is just from his pack. I forget which pack it is. Trinity, I guess, maybe. So yeah, so pretty fucking fun. Here, layer, I have this saw with 10 unison and detuned a little bit flanger, and this weird wavetable, and this flanger is the source. Gave it this metallic feel. And for me, when I'm making future rhythm, instead of making a bass sound have tonality, I would rather have sounds that already have this tonality, sounds like bass, have this texture of bass. So yeah, OTT, fat rack, stereo rack, and more Sus 2 and mid-side OTT, and even more EQ, Sus 2. Holy fuck! I do this for a reason. I don't know why, but there's definitely a reason. The mix down at that, my mix down mine at that time is quite messy, obviously. Another superstore layer, just pretty simple. You don't really have to talk too much. Layer together. Mid bass. Just a saw with a really this weird wavetable running through a filter, and yeah, pretty simple. Virtual Right mini fat. I love Virtual Right. And another mid bass layer. This one is more like just the texture from the wavetable itself. So yeah. Here we have those layers. Those are the real sauce. Alright, the ear candies. Alright. Oh my god. So the first one. This one is layering for the chord here. This one is a hammer. This one is a hammer patch. And this one is basically just unison saw, super saw with a bandpass filter. And I manually automate the bandpass filter to get this wow feel. Alright? For post processing, I didn't do too much. It's just OTT. Because we're making EDM, we can use OTT. This is a pad from the sample pack. Yeah, it is Trinity. It is Trinity sample pack. That beta pack is free, so remember to go to check out that pack. Yeah, and I have available to just fit the feel and make it like, you know. And here a bunch of layers. Sharks. This is from Sharks. This is from myself. This is from Salty Salt. Another just layer, all kinds of different layers. For making those type of ASMR texture sound, my way, I guess most of this sound are made. I mean, most of this sound which made by myself. How I made them is I choose a plug or like marimba or like any other sort of sound, or maybe electric piano, maybe just a sine plug. I write some random notes on a scale, and or maybe just maybe write some ARP and run it through a glitchy plugin like glitch to grow speed if you're using FL Studio or whatever fucking shit. And you can add a chroma if you want, just mess around and resample that shit. You can get this long gen. You can get this like this one. This is a long gen, and you can find this sweet spot and use them in your sound. And here we got the sub bass. And the sub bass, I'm definitely gonna use a different sub bass. I'm using that shit right now. So this sub bass is just a sine wave run through some distortion and just some EQing, you know, saturating, and especially get saturated high to get a crispy feel a little bit. It's not actually not that obvious here. And glue compressor to compress the shit out of this because we don't want any dynamic for the sub. And this is basically all we have in the drop. Here we have something fun. Here we have a cooker space. This is just a sine wave, FMing from a really high sine wave and together runs through a flange filter. And then it just runs through like a bunch of like post-processing. You can copy the setting if you want. Yeah, this is pretty basic sound. I really like cooker space. These are those really old dubstep bass from like fucking 2012. I mean 2012, yeah. 2012. Fuck. And for the second part, we changed the melody, of course. And we changed the flow a little bit, and we layered with another really easy lead sound. Is basically just you can copy this wavetable if you want. I don't know, I forget how I made this wavetable, but the key of this is using a can I bypass modulation? Shit, I can't. Sorry. Basically, the key of this is FMing from noise. Creating this really crispy feel, and layer with a higher saw wave and post processing. Copy the setting, yeah. EQ compression, no more. Add a little bit hi-hat also. Oh my god, why is my and here, add a let's see, where the fuck I put that shit? There is a definite down sampler or whatever shit happening here, but let me find out where the fuck I put that shit. Is it here? Oh, here. There's the effect tricks, and I have a loop here, have a crash here, which creating this sort of downsampling feel to transition the drop from the drop to the break. And just some simple like watch out stuff, downsampler, downlifter. And let's go back to the intro to see if there's anything funny. Just some impact, nothing really fun. And for the lead sound in the intro and verse, it is basically the same sound from the drop, but I just keep the guzheng and keep the face plant plucky sound, and of course I pan the guzheng back and have like less over fat, over compressed processing, and yeah, just keep that shit. And there's some up loop, some pad loop from the pack, and I add a bit extra vintage verb to the pad to make it. I don't know why I just add that shit. It sounds good. Why not? And there is some from the sample pack. Is there anything else? Yeah, there's a dizi, which called flute in English, I guess. We just add some auto pen. This is nothing really fun. Piano. And for the sub bass, it's pretty simple. You just have a saw wave. Why not? Because why? You have a saw wave and you remove the first harmonic, because the first harmonic is the sub, and you don't want the sub, because if you turn on it, if you how to say this, if you increase the unison and increase the detune, and you have the global here, you have the west all the way up, your sound gonna be stereo, and you don't want the first one, you don't want the sub, you don't want the root note to be stereo, because stereo sub sucks. So you can just simply remove the first harmonic here and add a extra sub and use direct out. Boom. Stereo, mono sub. And I have a MISI EQ to make sure absolutely no stereo sub here. And to introduce more is high feel, I add more this texture from the drop to the second part of the verse. I also make the rhythm more interesting for the drum here. It's really fucking simple. Great beat. And for second half, I basically just copy and paste, because the whole fucking project, I finished the whole fucking track in my 7-day holiday, in a vacation or holiday, whatever fucking shit you call it, from my school. I have 7 days to rest, and I spent all my fucking 7 days to making this shit. Holy shit, fuck grammar. I don't care about grammar when I'm speaking like this. So it just copy and paste. The only thing different is we have a fake out in the second part of the drop. And here we have, let me guess, it is in here, right? Not here. Alright, we have this one in here. We have endless smile all the way up, and auto pan all the way up, which just make it like panning left and right. And I have this one, I modulate the, how to say this, volume of this chain, and it will add this really quick reverb, hard panning sweep feel. You can hear this in Papa Khan's song, I guess. I don't know how he made this. I made this by doing this. And yeah, cool. You just add a little bit, endless smile, and the first mid preset is insane for fake out. And no more. It is exactly the same. For the outro, I believe there's a there is a crystallizer happening here. Let me find the shit out here. But let me see. You don't fucking need crystallizer. Actually, you don't fucking need crystallizer. I didn't know at that time, but there's a tool you have in Ableton called grain delay. And if you put frequency all the way down, put the pitch all the way up, and you put the feedback really high, and you down the drive a little bit. Crystallizer. You don't really need to spend your money and buy that shit, bro. Grain delay. Why not? That's not exactly the same, but you got the feel. Alright. You got the feel. And this is basically the whole video. And if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. And I don't really know if I should post more video in the future, but if you guys want to see, leave your comment, and I love you guys all. Bye.